Good morning. My name is Jenny Donahue, and I'm your lay worship leader for today's service. I am in charge today of the stewardship team, which will be our theme, and I welcome you all. I warmly welcome you all to First Parish Unitarian Universalist in Bridgewater. I've been a member for 28 years. And at this church, I grew up in a UU church as well, and I serve on, as I said, the stewardship team, the committee on shared ministry, and the RE program. And what I love about this church is how, I say this all the time, you let me use the microphone, because I was a shy little girl, and I would be deathly afraid as a teenager to have to do this, but sharing things with you, laughing with you, anything that we do together, and my nature as a teacher to kind of take charge of things and get you to be all involved. Please know that will happen today. Thank you. So before we begin our time of worship, we do have some announcements. We actually have a live performance by Denise and Diane.
What are you doing Friday night?
Well, I don't know. What did you have in mind?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe, I know you like rock comedy, but maybe Bill Gates.
I was thinking of something a little more sedate. There's going to be a concert.
Oh, they can't hear us. Move in. Okay. Close to the mic. Okay.
There's going to be a concert Friday night at 7 o'clock.
Night?
Right here, right there.
Right there. Wow. Is it free?
Yes. Well, sort of. We're going to pass the plate and take a collection, and half of it will go to the organist, Justin Murphy Mancini, and half will go to the church.
Sounds like a win-win. What kind of music will he play?
Mostly music written by Unitarian composers from the New England area.
Sounds good. Should we have a reception in the upper parish hall afterwards? What do you think?
Oh, good idea. But who should we get to coordinate the donations?
Betty! Is that okay with you, Betty? Is that okay with you?
I'll bring something.
Okay, me too. I'll bring something too.
We'll also need someone to coordinate setting up and cleaning up. Who should we ask to do that?
Oh, I'll help do that. I already volunteered.
Pat! Is that okay with you, Pat? Okay.
All right, then it's settled. Everybody come to the concert at 7 o'clock Friday night and see Betty and Pat after church to let them know what you will bring and whether you'll help with cleanup and setup. So, Janet, you've already volunteered.
Okay. Do you know what I happen to... wait a minute.
Do you think we'll win an Oscar nomination for that performance?
Nah. Okay, the other thing I thought about is when I was just sitting there, really, this is sort of off the cuff because I really did just think about this. Can you tell us more about the organist? Because I was fascinated to hear about the organist, so I just figured you might be able to do that better than me.
You know what? I think you're going to have to come Friday night, and Rosemary is going to tell you all about him.
Ooh, way cool. Good. All right.
And the award goes to... Excellent. All right. I don't see any other handwritten announcements up here, but a quick check around the room. Anyone? Let's auction this off. Going once? Twice? Okay. Awesome. Let me get started with this official script then. And I just want this in front of me. Okay. First Parish Bridgewater is a welcoming congregation. We proudly fly the rainbow flag to symbolize our welcome to people of all identities, ages, and backgrounds. If you're new to First Parish, we hope you enjoy your experience. It will be different today, this morning. We encourage you to fill out the guest book at the table at the rear of the sanctuary. You'll see Linda there right now. Hi, Linda. Another member of the team. Make sure you include your email address if you want to receive the church updates. For newcomers joining online, everyone turn around. Hello to our friends online. Please see the sign-up link posted in the chat. We invite all who are here in person to join us after the service for a time of fellowship in the upper parish hall through these doors. And we have an elevator as well. This service is being hosted via Zoom. It's being recorded for Bridgewater Cable TV and YouTube. We are so 21st century. You can find the link to the YouTube video in the weekly bridging. The recording camera is turned off to protect your privacy during the sharing of joys and sorrows. In the event of an emergency or evacuation drill, please leave the building through the main sanctuary doors, or this way, as I said, we have a ramp next to our elevator to get you through the School Street entrance. You are welcome here. Thank you for joining us. Your presence makes a difference. We will now begin our time of worship with the prelude, and if you look carefully, you'll notice the song is money-oriented. Excellent. Thank you, Denise. We like to collaborate on this every year, don't we? We're a team. Okay, chalice lighting. I've asked Val and Gil to come join us and help us today. I'm going to have to ask Gil to take those headphones off. Speaking of 21st century. Awesome. We need to do the other candles too, I noticed. Yeah. You want to help them? Okay. Reverend Rosemary will be helping the children. Okay. All right, so we're going to read our chalice lighting as always together up here. Here we go. We light our chalice to mark our sacred power as we gather in this beautiful historic sanctuary, both in body and spirit. We connect to
Let's just do this right and do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Let us join our hearts and find holy in our relationship to each other. It is time
to share worship together.
Memorized. Nice. Well done up here. Instead of opening words this morning, because stewardship is so much about how we all work together to make this church work and function, we're going to do a responsive reading so that we're all saying the words together. So I will say something, you will respond. Alan has prepared us a slide. Okay? I'm the one, you're the all. Okay? I think it's easier for me to read off the paper so I can keep my face to the crowd. Welcome, children of the cosmos. Welcome to a new story, not of a lost Eden and forbidden fruits, but a new story of a vast, variegated garden.
Let's imagine large, the luscious forest, the stark beauty
May we each find our place within this garden, within this story. A new garden, diverse, interconnected, vibrant, humming with life.
This is our wish for the garden we created together. We join, rooted in our covenant, to flourish in these stories together.
Okay. Please rise as you are willing and able to sing a hymn that I have changed the words to, but the tune should be familiar. We are pledging a new way. I don't see the number printed anywhere, but the words are going to show up. You guys just hum along until you get the rhythm, and the words will be there. Okay, I'm going to step away from the mic for the singing. At this point, I'm going to invite up our newly ordained Reverend, Rosemary, she will introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's so good to be back with you all today after a couple weeks, one with a really wonderful ordination service and one with a vacation. So, two of the best things in ministry. I'd like to just start with expressing my gratitude to our amazing Stewardship Committee. Can you all give a wave if you're on the Stewardship Committee? Woo, let's give them a round of applause. They have worked so hard to put together today's service and our stewardship campaign, and I am so impressed and grateful. They've worked with imagination, hope, and joy to express our faith values and bring together this year's stewardship campaign. And I've been so inspired and also really grounded by their vision. So thank you. I want to share a little bit about how I personally approach pledging to my spiritual communities, because I think it's important to share about how I approach something when we're all asking you to consider your own approaches to pledging and financial generosity today. I became a member of my home congregation when I was 15, after I completed our coming of age program. And I did not start pledging then. I started pledging once I had a regular income in my early 20s. I also started pledging at that point to my Boston Unitarian Universalist community, the Sanctuary Boston, and now I sustain these 2 pledges each year as my 2 UU faith homes. It's a joy to renew my pledge each year. Because I'm a church nerd, I really appreciate receiving a bunch of stewardship materials in the mail and being inspired by them. That's a unique experience. But each month I get a little confirmation email that both of my pledges have gone through, about 3 days apart, and I just get this little ping of connection to my faith communities. I'll say right now that my pledges to these organizations have never been quote-unquote large, whatever that means. My income hasn't really allowed it. I have grad school debt. But I calculate a percentage of my own income which is sustainable for me to donate. And I honestly assess if I want to increase that dollar amount every year, decrease it, or keep it the same. Some years I can increase it, and so I do. And some years I cannot, and so I don't. Despite the math of it all, pledging is a spiritual practice for me. By giving away some of my income to my faith communities, I trust that our collective organizations can do more with that money than I can do alone. And I put my faith into our people, into all of us. My small gift is multiplied in this way, and my support keeps the communities which have sustained me well-resourced, growing, and able to serve our shared mission. Here at First Parish, we depend on the generosity of our members and friends to fund all of the parts of our congregation's work. Unlike many denominations where churches receive financial support from a centralized institution, in Unitarian Universalism, we are free. And we are free to own our own buildings, hire and call our own ministers, and fund 100% of our own budgets. Lucky us! And actually, this congregation contributes part of our budget to the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations to fund their work and grow Unitarian Universalism in the world. It goes up, the money, not down in Unitarian Universalism. And this community, our community, is a reflection of our commitments to it. Our commitments of time, of volunteering on committees and leading worship and keeping our building beautiful, our commitments of expertise, and our commitments of financial support. We need all 3 of these to be a vibrant faith community. Later this spring, we'll have a congregational meeting where our members vote to pass and fund our budget for the upcoming fiscal year, based on the pledges that you all make. Nothing else. I am hopeful, I am grateful, and I am so energized by the commitment and by the love of this community. Let's choose today and each day to tend to this garden and to nourish our spirits. Let's put our faith into one another, into this beloved community.
Thank you, Reverend Rosemary. It's time for Joys and Sorrows, and I invite you all to come up. I'll help you with the candles and the microphone, kind of making the line this way. If you'd like to share something, you be first. You can always just light a candle in silence. Yeah.
Each week we have the opportunity to witness one another's joys and to hold one another's sorrows. And it is a privilege to be with one another in this vulnerable way. I also know that each of us comes here carrying things within our own hearts which we are not ready to share or feel private. And so I want to take a moment to acknowledge and honor all that is sitting in the room today, each one of you carrying care for our world in a huge variety of ways. I'd like to extend an offer for you to join me in the spirit of prayer or meditation, whatever feels best for you to connect to yourself and to the divine, who moves in so many ways. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of growth and nourishment, please be with us today as we honor our community. Be with us as we collect the pledges for our pledge drive. May it be joyful. May we all pledge with our capacity and with our hearts. Spirit of life, be with us as our world is hurting. Be with us as we feel the pain from the Palestinian people who are undergoing yet another beginning to conflict. Be with us as we hear the hurts of this nation, the people who will lose jobs, the people who will lose access to federal benefits, all of the ways in which our federal administration is not standing with human rights, not standing with those in need, not honoring those who have worked to make our country a better place. And Spirit of life, be with us as we nourish those seeds of hope in our own hearts. As we sit in this sanctuary today, let this service be an expression of our reckless, radical optimism for the world. Let us return to love, let us return to nourishment, and let us turn to community in good times and bad. I invite you to join me for a moment of silent meditation or contemplation. Amen, and blessed be.
The choir is going to sing for us.
listening to Rosemary speak about her first experiences at church remind me of mine. I was involved in church from the time I was, well, definitely a teenager, and I didn't pledge either. But I knew way back when that it costs money. It costs people gathering their resources to have a church, and. So when my husband and I first were married, we looked around. We didn't really find anything at all. But then we ended up in Muncie, Indiana, and the person who hired my husband, they had some philosophical discussions. And so Jim invited us to go to church at their Bring a Friend Sunday, and that did it. So we decided to join. And right after we signed our name, and this was probably a couple, 3 months later, we were handed a pledge, a pledge envelope to, don't you want to contribute to this church? So it just sort of was an awakening that, if something is really important to you, that you need to support it. And I've been supporting Unitarian churches ever since, and it's been great to be my home. This group of people and every place we've lived have been our extended family. And I like having a place where I can speak my mind and be amongst many like-minded people. That's my story. And this morning we are going to have you have little garden items like corn and things in the pew, and a pen. And so I want you to take a think. And think about ways that we can nourish our garden so we can reap what we sow. We can put things in our garden, and then we can reap what we sow from that garden. So and then in a few minutes, Jenny will call them up, and we're going to work on our little garden that's up on stage. Okay, so oops, I have to have this closer. So it's now time for our morning offering, and each Sunday we collect an offering to support the ministries of our church and the mission of the community organization that shares our faith values. This month, the contributions is going to, and it's in your more if you want to read it again, is going to the Massachusetts Transgender Political Coalition. It's dedicated to ending discrimination based on gender identity and expression, and how needed this is at this moment in our history. So if you would like to, in terms of donating, I was supposed to say this earlier, with your pledge, there are lots and lots of different ways to pledge. And of course, the reason that we like to have the pledge is we need to know what our budget is like for the year and what we can do. But there are lots of ways that you can put money towards your pledge weekly in the collection plate. You can Venmo it. You can write a check a month. You can write a check for the whole year. There are lots and lots of different ways that you can help. That will make your pledge possible in terms of having it come to this church. So so this morning also, when we take our pledge collection plate, this group that we're supporting this month in just our small ways actually is to help this organization. So give generously. We'll now have our morning offering.
Song I wrote a long time ago, and it's been recorded by lots of people. Some of them were my heroes, like Pete Seeger for one, and also the Muppets. It's called The Garden Song. Inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rains come tumbling down. And pull breaking the stones. Man is made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. And grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain, and tune my body and my brain to the music from the land. And inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rains come tumbling down. And plants you grow straight and long, temper them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. An old crow watching hungrily from his perch in yonder tree. And in my garden I endless squeeze that feathered thing of there. And inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rains come tumbling down.
Good morning.
If you still feel so moved during the rest of our service to write what you'd like to reap or sow metaphorically on the back of those cute little cards, we can collect a little bit later too.
Good morning again. I grew up in a small town in Maine, and we lived next door to my dad's best friend. There was a small patch of land between our houses, and we used that to build a garden. There were 6 kids between the 2 families, so plenty of hands to play in the dirt, to weed, and we shared the harvest. One thing I distinctly remembered was that when we harvested the beets, our family took the beets and the neighbors took the greens. I was about 6, and this was the first time I learned firsthand about sharing resources on a deeper level. Sharing resources with others is important because it fosters collaboration, community building, and enables individuals and groups to achieve more together than they could alone. And pledging enables us all to grow intentionally in gratitude and generosity. But what is it we want to grow? Open-mindedness, social justice, equity and fairness for all, acceptance of diversity, which should be more than accepted, it should be celebrated and embraced. We want these to grow strong, and in order for that to happen, we must also weed out things like hate and indifference. When you think about your pledge this year, I'd like you to consider all aspects of financial contribution. Think about this. An estate bequest can be likened to the foundation of our garden. We do have a foundation, but adding to it will allow us to expand our space to plant more good things in the soil. Our pledges are the seeds we plant each year to secure a bountiful harvest. Our weekly plate contribution waters our garden and the gardens of our Share the Plate partners. And in this case, it's okay to overwater a bit. We encourage it. These all work together to allow us to keep the lights on, to maintain our 300-plus-year-old building, pay the staff, and most importantly, receive Reverend Rosemary's words of encouragement, inspiration, spiritual wisdom, guidance, and calls to action to do good in the world. The world needs it now more than ever. So now let's dig deep and go play in the dirt. And don't forget your sun protection.
Who likes a good microphone moment, huh, Kat? Thank you for those thoughts. We are going to sing yet another hymn to a familiar tune with some changed words. Please rise as you are willing and able. Bob's chuckling. Thank you, Bob. I'm going to invite you up to read a very precious reading called Long Haul People that was first introduced to us by my stewardship team mentor, Frank Yateman, and he will never be forgotten. These are his favorite words. Here's Bob.
Thanks, Jenny. Yes, Frank was our patron saint of stewardship here. And this is Long Haul People by Rudy Nimser. You find them in churches, when you're lucky, other places too, though I mostly only know the ecclesiastical varieties. Long haul people, upon whose shoulders and pocketbooks and casseroles and daylight time hours, a church is built and maintained after the brass is tarnished and the cushions need restitching. They pay their pledges full and on time, even when the music's modern. They support each canvas. Though sermons aren't always short, they mow lawns and come to suppers, teach Sunday school when there's no one else and they'll miss the service. Asked what they think of the minister, or plans for the kitchen renovation, or the choral anthem, or the Christmas pageant, or the color of the bathroom paint, they'll reply, individuals and fashions arrive and pass. The church, their church, will be here, steady and hale, for a long, long time. It will, for long haul people, bless a church with a very special blessing.
Okay, so now in the order of service, it says it's the big reveal. If my little helping hands helpers could do one more round around the congregation to see if there's any more really cool words that people wrote on the back of their little vegetables. Is there anyone else that has a little vegetable word? Yep, hold them up because my little friends are going to come around. You want to grab a basket? Each of these little vegetable words is going to represent $1,000 on our pledgeometer, if you will. Okay? And obviously, we've established the theme today as a garden of possibilities. And you can see on the stage everything from my house. Not that I am a true gardener, but I have all the stuff. So what do we have up there? We've got the rake and the hoe, because that's what the song said, inch by inch, row by row. Gotta make this garden grow. I'll just chant it. All you need is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. And you can see evidence of watering cans, and there's some garden soil, some pots and things. All right, this is our garden of possibilities. And all of these words that you guys, my kids up here, my helping hands kids, are going to, we're gonna come up, we're gonna plant a few of these. Can you come with me? We're gonna plant a few. Yep, you can just, whatever you want. Take it or carry it or get it once we're up here. You want to come up, Gil? We're going to plant a few things here, okay? Can you just help me plant? We're planting. What are we planting? We're planting seeds of hearing and processing the ideas of others. What else are we planting? Social justice, friendship, hope, sharing, generousness. Big planting. What are we? Community and a place to reflect. Do you want to read one? Oh, that's a lot of words. Do you want to read that one? Okay, let's find a smaller word one. Open-mindedness, companionship, trust. Trust is our theme word. Understanding. We're planting. You wanna sprinkle some water on what we're planting for me, please? Thank you. Family, love, truth, fairness, acceptance. Okay, we're planting. You want to read? That one's blank. That's open-mindedness right there. Plant that, okay? By bringing, can you read it with me? By bringing your whole self every week. I love that. Okay, a little watering. All right, thank you. You got one more? What does it say?
I'd like to sow more love and understanding.
I would too. Plant that. Here, maybe we need to just rake and hoe it a little bit. You want to rake it a little bit? Okay, and yep. Rake and a hoe. A little bit of that. Okay, perfect. Oh, big ingredient. We got to plant it with love. Right? We got to plant it with love. Okay, thank you. Oh, a little more raking. Excellent. Okay, thank you. Now, it just so happens that a few of us on the stewardship team and some other helpful hands have given our money amounts that we're going to pledge this year. And we're going to reveal to you our garden of possibilities so far. All right. So each of these is $1,000 I mentioned, right? So this is 20. And then 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 33, 32 so far. Thank you. And I will write that. And if we get all of these filled, this could be 140. We'd be happy with 130, 135, but we would like to get to this row, boys and girls, right? Inch by inch, row by row, okay? I'm going to write the number 32 up there just so we can have that as a visual, and I want everyone to just thank my helpers one more time. So we are off and running at the Garden of Possibilities, okay? Thank you so much. And we're singing again. Okay, one more song that I crafted to wake now my senses. Please rise as you are willing and able. Before Kathy reads our benediction, I just wanted to announce that the team will be giving you your said envelope, as mentioned before, during coffee hour.
Inch by inch, row by row, each day, every day, we are blessed to be the embodiment of what is possible. When stewardship grounds us in all that we do, let us reap a garden of possibilities. Blessed be.
And we'll now extinguish our chalice. Hadley, would you like to do that one? Thank you.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Jeff, yeah, it's been 5 years this year. I know, right? But you're here. Well, we sort of all over to the okay. My mother died, and I just been married. 20 years. Yeah. So we one health insurance. It was very economic. We were happy together. Thank you, Denise.
I'm not as smart. I'm doing I was actually going to talk to her again. And she said there was pretty straightforward. Yeah, it said the money's there. We just have to apply, don't do anything with it. That's not a problem. So this is the application for eligibility. Right. And this is the application for the money. But they said it's there. Okay. That's pretty cool. It's not charged what I Oh, I know. Me exactly. Yeah. So I think what I'll do is I'll fill this out, and if there's anything that I don't it's going to cost really hard. We have more.
Okay, so here, let's.
I mean, it's like it's something. It's not often practiced. Money building on this money. Have you gotten one? Not yet. No, because the letter I got said you're not at 14th of March. That may be because I was trying to stay So, ministry it's all one system, but it's this anyway, I haven't gotten my mom. I wasn't eligible for 2 months, so I'm going to get one here, but it's not going to take me. I was eligible. I'd be willing to get more. So that's another source, but I'd rather use the free one.